Hello, I'm MK Davis. I want to talk a little bit about the Patterson film. Just recently it's come to my attention. Actually, I've known about it longer than that, but they're releasing a documentary that's supposed to contain a deathbed confession that the Patterson film was an absolute hoax. And what I want to talk about is when you, in all the years that I've been striving to get the better images for from the film, to put it together and to make a quality film like the original film was, it was with the intention of finding out whether it was a hoax or not, or whether it was real or not. And it really matters little to me which one it is. Having done a good bit of work to it over the years, and pushing and getting the better quality images from the film, then the film begins to tell its own story. And I check everything against the film. So there's been lots of people who come and go, who say, "Oh, I know all about that. That was a hoax," or "I know it to be true." And I check all of that, everything, against the film to see if it fits what you see there on the film. And recently I gave a presentation there in Alabama, and it was regarding the reality of the Patterson film. There's been some new information that came to me thanks to some people that were willing to share it with me. There was an ethnologist by the name of Lance Darrell who showed this film to an intertribal group of elders, Native American elders. And they, one and all, in unison, agreed that what they were looking at was a genuine film, and that this person on the film was a shaman, identified by what? By a lock of hair that I found on the film. Oh, it's been over a decade ago. I call it a braid, but as it turns out, it was much more than that, because it not only identified this person as to what they were and what they were doing there, but it also fit what you see on the film. So that's why I put this information together and gave this presentation. And you need to see it in light of the fact that these people are making these claims. I think it's kind of sad that money gets the best of people, unfortunately. Here, let me plug this up. This is my presentation. Bigfoot on a stick. All right, here we go. And I'm just going to go numerically through these proofs. First of all, the braid. Like I said, I found this over 10 years ago. People were saying, "Well, no, there's no way you can see that on there." Then they'd say, "Well, there must be a dreadlock," because they were still really hung up on this thing being some kind of gorilla or ape. But it would not remain so. That's it right there. On the tip, I caught it while it was swinging around. The wind picked it up at her back and swung it around onto her cheek above the ear. Now, this right here was from an internegative from the original film that the magazine Argosy had, and they produced this magnificent. I think it was in February of the following year on the film, and they had the original film access to it, and they made internegatives, and it shows the hairstyle very well. But let me just continue to that's the braid. I call it a braid, but as it turns out, it's not a braid. There it is swinging. See, it swings. The wind picks it up. Right there. Here's the Argosy magazine. Even with the dot matrix format, it's still way better than. See the hair? See that hair right there? The division right here? When those elders saw that, they didn't have to talk it over very much. There it is in the lower quality. See right there? You can see the ear. Got kind of a herringbone pattern. We'll watch it again because it's really important. When they saw this, they used the word Barloach. This was a Barloach. Not Patty, but a Barloach. I found out that Barloach means one who knows the way. It's reserved for shamans, medicine men, medicine women, the ones who know the way, who are trained, or who have the special knowledge or abilities. It also has another meaning. There's two meanings to the word. It's an ancient word that originated in South America in the Andes, but through migrations came up to North America. It also means people from the other side of the mountain. So she's a person from the other side of the mountain, and she's one who knows the way. That begins to explain the film. You can look at how the quality of that Argosy internegative. Let's just go back. That's just the still picture of the Argosy. Look right there, the division right there. This is laying across onto the cheek. the scalp lock that identifies her as a Barloach, one who knows the way. This is a scalp lock. This is a shaman. This is a medicine man. A trained person. Now what did the Barloach know the way to? It's a secret. That's why only one knew the way, because the rest did not know. The ones that were with her did not know. They depended on her to get them there. Get them where? Let's take a look. There it is, on her. Medicine man, medicine woman. Years ago, when I first got into this, it was because someone had leaked out onto the internet. I know the internet goes back further than that, but the 90s was when I began to experience the internet. And this was leaked over to the net as a result of an argument. This person said, I know. Someone said they saw a baby in those poor quality frames from the film. And he says, there's no baby there because I've been working with the original. And he put this up there as an example. And I'll be honest with you, I can't argue with it. It's that good. And it's been filtered, something that I became accustomed to when I was doing my astrophotography, that they use filtration to sharpen an image because of defects from the lens called chromatic aberration. So you filter out the worst of the focused colors, and you end up with a monocolor that's very, very sharp. Here it is. This is it. See quite a bit on there. This is the one I sent to Todd Gatewood, and he really didn't have to do a lot to it. I appreciate his efforts. Okay. And speaking of Mr. Gatewood, this is that original right here. And this is what Mr. Gatewood did with upscaling. Not AI. Nothing AI was done on this. No computer program went to the internet, got all the information it could, and created a face. No, that didn't happen. It took, and this right here was overexposed. You see, people were saying, well, the mouth doesn't line up with the nose. Well, it certainly does once you put that part back together with the mouth. And this is what I did right here. I came over here and got this and brought it over here and put it there so that the overexposure would not show, would not hide where the end of the mouth was. This is what she looked like to those men. Now, if those guys come up with this Patterson film was a hoax, deathbed confession, They've got to explain this. I don't care who you are. Lots of people have made claims. You check it against the film, and when the film has gotten as good as it has, you better have something very good to overcome this, or you're not going to make much money. Now let's go back over here. This is what I appreciate about it when I first saw this, because Todd didn't know anything about that braid. But you can see the braid right here. It's kind of hidden under a tuft of hair. See the herringbone pattern? There it is. There was nothing for AI to go get to put this on there. This was strictly upscaling. It was already there. Go back to this one. You see it right here. Maybe even better over here. There it is, right there. So the story starts to develop. We would have known nothing about it. I would have known nothing about it without the generosity of an intertribal group of elders, Native American elders, who put the piece that counted in there, and then we knew what we were looking at. Here's where I put, this is the upscale version, and I fade back to the original, and then I fade back to the upscale. And you can follow every detail on this. There's not anything added to or taken away. It's all just tightened up. At upscale, they call it. Yes, there's a murk that comes with having a small lens. It's you can draw a triangle from the sides of the lens to the film subject, and you measure the amount of space in that triangle, and it has to be above a certain amount, or you will have a murkiness to it, unsharpness. Follow it well. Look at this. It's all there, my friends. There's that braid. I call it a braid. It's not a braid. It's a scalp lock. Scalp lock. Scalp lock. A sure sign that you are a medicine man or a medicine woman. You're the one who knows the way. This is what she looked like a little further down, using that upscaled image. The wind's blowing at her back 8 to 9 miles an hour. When she starts to turn and look at the two men, this tuft of hair with that scalp lock blows up and over the ear, and you falls back down, and then
the rest of the hair starts to come in around it, and then you see it, the braid part sticking out right here. And it tells you what it is that you're looking at. That's why they didn't show anyone the master copy, because someone might figure this out. And when they saw the higher quality, they did figure it out. A group of elders knew what they were looking at, and they shared it. Now, about the other side of the mountain. People from the other side of the mountain. I've gone to Bluff Creek, and well from the distance I could see Mount Shasta. I took some pictures of it. Mount Shasta has got a reputation for high strangeness, but it also has a reputation for having an underground network of tunnels, like lava tubes and things. Hollows under the ground. Let's take a look at a video I took of Mount Shasta. There it is. On the side, the southern side of Mount Shasta, is a river that's widely reported to have Bigfoot on it. And they say that those underground hollows and cave systems and lava tubes start there, around the McCloud River. Right. It's that Argosy image again. Now, I want to talk a little bit about something else that's on the film, that you have to meet that criteria. And that would be back in the 90s, I think it was. There were some spelunkers, cave explorers. They went in a cave down in South Africa called the Rising Star Cave. And they went in there, and then they had to do a little belly crawl, a little tight place, a squeeze, I think they called it. And they went to another chamber further down, and lo and behold, they discovered skeletons in there. And there were, I think, 5 complete individuals. They weren't very large, but they caught the whole entire world's attention. And they were there were a lot of things that reminded people of modern man, but they say there were some differences. And there was a man named professor by the name of Jeremy De Silva, an American, and they made him responsible for analyzing the hands and the feet. They call these type of people Homo naledi. They were not Homo sapiens. And what they found really unique about the hand, let me read it to you. Homo naledi possessed a unique mosaic hand, combining modern human-like features, a long, robust thumb, wrist bones suited for tool manipulation, with significantly curved fingers. These longer, more arched finger bones are more pronounced than in most Australopiths, indicating that Homo naledi was a strong climber, using its hands for arboreal locomotion and suspension. Curved fingers, human-like wrist thumb. What do you see on the Patterson film? When the Patterson film was taken, this was not discovered. And he found out later on, whenever they sent it off to be dated, they thought it was going to be like 2.6 million years old. It came back 300,000. And they were shocked because it was possible for them to coexist with Homo sapiens in geological time. That's a blinking of an eye. So let's see what's in the Patterson film that may remind us of Homo naledi. Well, look at there. Look at that. There's your curved fingers with a grasping hand that no one even knew about in 1967. You have to check these claims against the film. If you just take these people's word for it and you don't look at the film, you've done a great injustice to this piece of cinema, this great, highly valued a peek into history. This is number 61, frame number 61. It's in the early part of the filming, when it was so shaky and all over the place, there were individual frames that came out just sterling. And this did, and now we know. Now we look, we see. It has a curved palm like Homo naledi. That means that this thing, or this person, is not a Homo sapien. It's a Homo something. We'll get into that in just a minute. Let's look at the thumb. People have argued ever since I've been into this about the thumb. And Bigfoot has a non-opposable thumb like a gorilla. But if this is an example of a Bigfoot, that's not true. I stabilized the image on the wrist and let all the other parts jump and held that wrist tight so I can see if the thumb moved. There it is right there. Certainly it does move. You think that's a glove? Think that's part of a suit? Check it against the film. Somebody says, I wore gloves, I wore a suit, I did this, all a hoax. Check it against the film. The film has gotten better and better and better until you can't lie about it. Let's go back over here. Here's a crop version of it. Look at the thumb. Now, in this next one I'm going to show you frame 352 and frame 353 from the Argosy internegatives that they made from the original. And when you stabilize it and put it together, you see the hand open and close. Right here. If you think this is a gorilla, show me on the film. What evidence is there on the film that tells you that? This is not a Homo sapien either. The Homo naledi probably lived alongside Homo sapiens. I'm not saying this is Homo naledi, but I'm saying it's another form, life form, with the basic designs of humans with marked differences. Way back when, in the late 50s, they wanted to build a road right through that sacred area that contained those two peaks. Medicine Peak, or Dr. Rock, and Chimney Rock. Those two peaks were sacred, and the Native Americans there felt so strongly about it that they formed human chains to block the equipment from coming in there and taking that timber and building this road to nowhere. It's supposed to go from Orleans to Gasquet and provide this shortcut or whatever, but all it ever really did was give them access to wood and disturbing this sacred area. This is what the Go Road amounted to when I went up there. It stayed like that all the time, all year. It may be a couple of months out of the year that you could actually ride that road, but you do so at your own peril. They didn't care. Not once they got their timber, but they wanted to try to go back and get some more timber in 2010, and the whole thing blew up all over again. Let me read to you a little bit about the sacredness of that place. The Siskiyou Mountains are a small range in northwest California and southwest Oregon. In the southern part, they contain parts of the Klamath and Smith River watersheds. These watersheds are the traditional homelands of several Native American tribes, including the Yurok, Karuk, and Tolowa tribes of northern California. These tribes have considered the high country to be of a special spiritual importance since times predating recorded history. Two of the rocks at the peaks of the high country are now called Dr. Rock, or Medicine Rock, and Chimney Rock at about 4,000 feet. This region is held to be the center of the spiritual universe because it is believed that the original inhabitants of the world, who left just as the humans appeared, climbed up through holes in the sky, and these high peaks are the last places they set foot on earth, hence the high concentration of spiritual powers here. The high country is the site of a ritual performed individually and involving days of fasting and meditation to obtain spiritual purity amidst silence and undisturbed serenity. The few members of these tribes who feel the call to become medicine people, medicine men, shamans, scalp locks, derive their powers during these rites. The medicine people are spiritual leaders and are an integral part of the culture. Although few individuals ever enter into these areas, they are of incalculable value to the entire society. Now, who do you think those ones who went to those peaks and went back to the stars through a hole in the sky before humans, as we know them, were ever here? And maybe afterwards still doing it. I laid on the ground in Louse Camp. In the middle of the night I heard chanting filtering down on the night air through the canyons. Two voices, at least. Medicine men, scalp locks, barloaches, people who know the way. To where? Get ready for this one, because there's not supposed to be a picture of Chimney Rock. Someone took it. I don't know who, but it came to me. It's a sacred place. They didn't want it photographed. Shamans would train there. Place of great significance. There it is. It's the view from Chimney Rock. Sit up on that rock and you do what meditation or whatever they do, however they get their own personal powers. It's from there, facing off across there at Shasta. And all they wanted was people to stay out. People came in anyway with that road, and there was a collision, an interruption. While this Barloach was taking people up to the high places, the sacred places, like Chimney Rock. They were taking Homo somethings up there. They got interrupted. Never made it. All right. And I was telling you about Bluff Creek. Bluff Creek having underground systems that stretched all the way across to Mount Shasta. And I've seen on the Patterson film the hair worn away. I'll see if I can locate that. Let's see here. Let it populate here just a minute. There's what I'm looking for right there. I can't hardly click on them because they're populating so fast. This is what I was talking about. She's been somewhere where there's an overhead or something where she can't stand up, and she's scooted around. You see where it's worn the hair off right here? Look like somebody's suit. When they come out with this, tell them to check it against the film. All right. Here's some more too as well. And it goes on and on. People used to say they thought they had a pillow back there because surely it was a pillow because they couldn't see any division. Back muscles and glutes. Look where these division is, how it's moving against each other. Look at that, right in there. You only have 60 seconds of film, and if that sun is not at the right angle, then you don't get much. But it's at the right angle right here. You see the two sides moving against each other. You also see muscles moving right here along the scapula. All right. On we go. I'm going to show you this footage. I have never posted it. It's a footage of Bluff Creek, 2019. It's in an area that goes up toward those two peaks. Had a little brook coming down the side of the mountain. Let's just look at it. This is entitled, "This Is It."
Okay. We got water right here. Water coming in here. Water a little bit here, none there. That's it.
Covered the crevice up.
We're probably, what, 50 feet above that creek?
I'd say 100 yards.
I'm talking about high.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a trail right here. Look.
Can we reach it?
No, look. Can you see it?
Yeah.
You know what? Ed?
Yeah.
I would say that crevice would be probably right here. Just by the flow.
Yeah.
I bet it drops right here. You see where it pools?
Yeah, during the high runoff, it's called now. It's like looking through here.
Yeah, I bet you that crevice is right here.
It's on the game trail right here, though.
I bet you 2 to 1 it's either right there or right here. I had a shovel and I dug that, I bet you I'd find it. I bet you that crevice would be right here. I'd almost put my
Yeah, we're probably 50 feet above the creek.
Yeah? That's about where it was?
Yeah. There was a hole. It was just a round hole. It went off in.
That's what this is right here.
Yeah.
And with all this debris it washed down,
Yeah.
covered it up. I bet you if I had a shovel though, I could dig down, I could find it. I'll feel that. Going down. Going right on. Look at this. This is it, right here. I'll bet you. Look for oh yeah. This is it. Okay.
Yeah.
This is it. This is it right here. Got it?
It's not crusted over.
This is it right here.
High waters, cover it up. Careful walking down there, there's a bunch of sticks. Your ankle up in there. This is it. Right here. So that's the spot where it's up?
Yep, this is the spot right here.
Can you feel a hollow sound?
There's so much to be here.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear it.
You hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's right here. This is it. This is it. Son of a bitch. This is it. I swear to God, this is it.
This is it. I swear to God, this is it. That's what he said. This is what? Under there is a hollow. He was tapping his stick on it, and you can hear the hollow sound. So you see, it's too late to make false claims. The film is just too good, and there's too much known about it, and there's too much knowledge, such as what we have now with this Barloach. They understood what they were looking at. And when you take that knowledge and you plug it into the film, it fits. They're not out of sync. It fits. It describes what you see on the film. It explains it. So let these guys come on out with whatever they want to come out with. If it's not better than this, then they don't have anything. People will do anything for the almighty dollar, and throw anyone under the bus, even people that are been long dead. I thank you for your time.